Hey guys, today we're going to simplify some radicals by writing them in what we call simplest radical form. Alright, here it is. Hey everyone, so whenever you're taking the square root of a non-perfect square, 40 in this case, we simplify these by writing them in what we call simplest radical form. And off to the side here, I just made a list of some of our perfect squares. So if you remember numbers like 1, 4, 9, 16, these are what we call perfect squares because we can express them as a whole number times itself. So for example, 6 times 6 equals 36, therefore 36 is a perfect square. 8 times 8 is 64, therefore 64 is a perfect square. And these perfect squares are going to sort of help us as we go through this process. So how I'm going to go about simplifying the square root of 40 here is I'm going to first find the largest perfect square that goes into 40 evenly. So generally what you want to do is start sort of at the bottom of your list and then work your way up until you find the first one that goes in evenly. So these are already larger than 40, so we don't even need to look at those. 36 doesn't go into 40 evenly, 25 doesn't, 16 doesn't, 9 doesn't, so it turns out that 4 is the largest perfect square that goes into 40 evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make what we call a factor tree. And I'm going to factor the square root of 40 into the square root of 4 times the square root of 10, because 4 times 10 is 40, and it turns out that the square root of 4 times the square root of 10 equals the square root of 40. And you could check that on a calculator if you want to verify that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sort of factor these two factors down as far as they'll go. So, well, the square root of 4 is simply just 2. So I can actually just stop there. And the square root of 10 I can now simplify or break down to the square root of 5 times the square root of 2. Because again, 2 times 5 equals 10, so the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 should equal the square root of 10. And now that I've sort of reached the end of all my branches here, I'm going to multiply these all together, the ends of these branches. So I'm going to have 2 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 2. So I can rewrite the square root of 40 as 2 times the square root of 5 times the square root of 2. But I know that the square root of 5 times the square root of 2 is just the square root of 10. And so this here is what we call simplest radical form. You can read this two different ways. You can read this as 2 times the square root of 10, or you can say 2 root 10. All right. So now let's repeat the process for, let's say, the square root of 75. So again, I'm going to look at my list of perfect squares and I'm going to try to find the largest one that will go in evenly. So again, you want to sort of start at the bottom of your list and work your way up. 81's already too big. 64 doesn't go in evenly. 49 doesn't go in evenly. 36 does not go in evenly. But 25 does. So it looks like 25 is the largest perfect square that'll go into 75. So I'm going to factor the square root of 75 into the square root of 25, and 25 goes into 75 3 times, so the square root of 3 will be my other factor. And just like how I knew what the square root of 4 was, it was 2, I know what the square root of 25 is, it's 5. And the square root of 3, I could break down into the square root of 3 times the square root of 1, but that doesn't get me anywhere, so this is as far as this will break down. And so I multiply the ends of my branches, and I get 5 root 3 or 5 times the square root of 3. Okay, and we'll do one more here. We'll do the square root of 108. So just to save time, it turns out that the largest perfect square that goes into 108 is 36. So I will break this down into the square root of 36 times the square root of 3, because 3 times 36 gives me 108. And I know what the square root of 36 is, that's just 6. And the square root of 3 is as simplified as that gets, so again, I multiply the ends of my branches together, and I get 6 root 3. Now, I want to show you that finding the perfect square, the largest perfect square that goes into your value, is not a necessary step, as it turns out. It's just very, very helpful to do that first. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's say we didn't recognize that 36 was the largest perfect square that went into 108, and say you decided to factor this as the square root of 9 times the square root of 12, right? Because 9 times 12 gives you 108, just like 36 times 3 gives you 108. So now we can start breaking these down just like we would here. So the square root of 9 I know is 3. The square root of 12 I don't know off the top of my head, but I know I can break that down further into the square root of 4 times the square root of 3, because 4 times 3 gives me 12. And then I can break this down. Well, not break it down, but I know that the square root of 4 is 2. So now I can multiply the ends of my branches together here. And I get 3 times 2, which gives me 6, times the square root of 3. And you'll see that I get the same answer both ways. So it doesn't matter which way you factor it. But it is worth noting that this was way shorter, right? Finding the largest perfect square that goes into 108 turned out to give me the lesser amount of branches here. And the larger your number gets, so this is 108, which is a relatively low number. If you're trying to simplify the square root of a very, very large number, and you don't identify the largest perfect square that goes into that number, you're going to end up with a lot of branches. And again, it's not impossible to do, but it turns out that this is a way more efficient way and faster way to do these. Okay, and also it's worth noting that it's kind of ironic that this is called simplest radical form, and in some ways this looks even more complicated than our original expression, and depending on your preferences that might be true, but you'll see sort of in the next video when we're dealing with more complicated radical expressions why this is considered quote-unquote more simplified. Alright, but that'll be in the next one. So with that, we'll bring this one to an end.